Welcome back to my channel once again. This is your host Jenny. So today I really wanted to talk about one topic that so many of you guys are asking me on the regular, because you guys already know I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have an overall staff of 25 to 26 depending on, I have to count again because I just hired some new people. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about how to truly be a boss. I'm going to give you some highlights because you guys know being a boss is an entire journey. You have to learn how to really be comfortable in your own skin and really discover what type of boss you are. I mean, a boss lady or boss man you are. So anyway, so let's get started with this video of giving you tips and tools that you can use in order to better yourself. So guys, let me talk about this topic. I really wanted to make this video because so many of you have been asking me this question on how to get started and really what's the mindset to have. I wanted to go ahead and I'm actually going out. That's why I have this jacket on, because I don't want to make this video long and I need to get going. The first thing that I'm going to share here is that in order to be financially successful, you have to have the audacity for it, okay? You have to have the audacity to be successful. And I'm saying it because being successful is a lonely place at the top. But I'm saying in order for you to get to that place, whether it's spiritually successful, financially successful, or all of those successful ways, you do have to walk the walk alone. Let me give you just a little bit of my personal experience on how I was able to not only separate myself from the people that were dear to my heart, but also really get to the place where I felt like this is me. So let me just go ahead and explain to you, because at some point you're going to have to divorce your friends. And yes, that's a thing. One thing that I'm going to tell you before I even go into the story is that if you have many friends, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, your many friends are not always going to be there for you. Your many friends may just be a distraction. Really just a distraction. And that's what I have uncovered in my own life. That's what I had to go through. And when I discovered that I had many friends at some point when I was, in university, and they were not for me. You know what I mean? Like, they were not for me. Those were the friends that they wanted us to ride the same boat. Which means that if you wanted to go beyond what they thought life was, they wouldn't, all they would do is discourage you. Even when I told people I was going to launch my first business, it wasn't my first business, guys, because you're going to find out later on that I've tried other things that didn't work. And then, but when I was about to launch my bridal company, I remember many people were like, oh, how do you expect that to work? And you want to open a store in Cameroon? How do you expect it to work? But at that time when I was about to launch my bridal company, I really didn't have that many friends anymore, because I understood that in order for me to grow, in order for me to get to the other side, I will have to make some sacrifices. So that's what I'm going to tell you right then and there. You have to make some sacrifices. And it's going to be some of your friends that you think are friends, and they're actually not friends. They're just a distraction so that you wouldn't really reach your goals. And I understood back then, I used to think they just didn't like me because any dreams, because I'm really a talkative person. So I always want to share. I wanted to share what I wanted to do. I wanted to share the dreams. I wanted to share the projects and things that I thought I was capable of doing. But I quickly realized that many people were not on board, and instead of pushing me forward, they were criticizing and they were discouraging me. I understood later on that they were just projecting their own fears. That's all they were doing. Because how do you want somebody to understand what you want to do if them themselves cannot see it for themselves? So I understood right there. That was later on, right? When I went about doing my life, I was working, I was having my businesses. That's when I went, back. And I was like, okay, they actually were not against me. It's just that they were projecting their own fears onto me. but I think I was just stubborn in my own way. So one quality, I don't know if it's a quality or not, but one quality that as entrepreneurs we have is that we are too stubborn. Once we get something in our mind, it's really hard for us to get it out, right? And it doesn't matter who is going to tell us it's not going to work, we're still going to go for it full force, because that's what we believe in, even though it's just a dream. Every big idea started with a dream, you know? So I think for all stubborn or all entrepreneurs in general, we go through that phase where we just stubborn, where we just like, okay, we believe in something bigger than our own life, and it doesn't matter what other people are going to say. And I think I was that way, okay? So for everything that I've always gone for, whether it's my degree, whether it's everything, I always felt like I wanted to do that. Another sort of sacrifice that you're going to have to make, guys, and this is going to rub people the wrong way, those luxurious trips, you have to stop it, okay? Stop it. Those red bottom shoes, women, stop it. Like, you have, I mean, I'm not saying don't buy one or two, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you're somebody who wants to grow financially and you're having difficulties getting there, maybe it's a good idea if you actually stop those, you know, things that they call luxury, you know? Like, you can afford it. Why are you buying it? You know? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it really takes a certain level of sacrifices and a different type of mindset for you to not follow the trend, or for you to not follow the crowd. Because I think many people are following the crowds. They're following what other people are doing. So if my friends are getting big houses with a salary that is not even a six-figure salary, or maybe even six-figure salary, I don't have any business following them. And I may be looking like I'm not successful in their eyes. People may say, oh, look at this girlfriend of yours. She got married. She has kids. She has a house. She has a good car. What are you doing with your life? You know, you're doing this business that you don't even know if it's going to work. Guys, it's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. And I want everybody to understand that it's worth it. That's why I'm saying you have to make certain sacrifices, because it's one thing to complain and it's another to complain when you could have fixed that. You know, you can't complain of not having enough money, of not really investing in your dreams when you never made the effort. Where do you think that money was going to come from? I mean, it takes money to make money. So in order for you to invest in a business idea or to invest in a project, whatever, maybe you need to buy that book, you know, that book that will teach you about how to really budget. Or maybe you need to go to this, you know, seminar. Maybe you need to get a webinar. Maybe you need to buy coaching services. If you have to spend money on something, you have to make sacrifices, and you have to spend money on things that are really useful. There are so many tools and so many resources that you can find on YouTube right then and there. For example, me teaching you this thing, okay? They have podcasts on YouTube, they have seminars, they have conferences, they have other way more successful entrepreneurs sharing their journey and how they did it. Guys, the list is long, but all I'm saying is that you have to invest in yourself if you do want to acquire financial literacy, if you want to have generational wealth for your children and your children and children and children of your children and so forth. You get the picture. Another tool that I'm going to tell you is that you need to use social media in your advantage. I know all of us have this thing of, I'm going to take a selfie just so I can get validation from other people that I'm beautiful. I do it. I'm not going to deny it on here. I do it. I do selfies. I do pictures. I post it. I do all of these things that everybody does. Now, let me tell you this thing. There's what we call personal branding, and there's what we call business brand. Business brand is when I'm talking about specific products and services that I offer and how to market them, how to advertise them. When you talk about personal branding, it's really, can people relate to you? Can people connect with you? Can people feel like they really like you? Because many people, unfortunately, many people want to like you first before they can like your product or services. So that's where personal branding comes in. Because I think for a long time, I was really reluctant to show my face on social media. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, in order for me to even you know, get there or to be connected to people and to talk to people, I have to be there. That's why YouTube is still new to me, even though I've been doing it heavily since 2020, but I still feel like it's new because I'm still learning how it goes. Instagram, I used to have an old page Instagram that I don't use. So this new Instagram page that I have, which is Afro_Boss_Lady_Jenny, is really a page that I started just because I was like, okay, let me now put myself out there. Let me learn how to do this whole influencing thing. And it's taken me a while to grow my followers, whatever. Who cares? As long as the few people who are following me can be inspired, then I've done my job. So when it comes to personal branding, I've started also doing reels. And I know many people know about the reel game, that you have to just go about doing reels if you're going to be advertising for products and services. Because before I used to just post regular videos, but I realized that videos, I mean, unless the people are following you, but if they were not following you, many of them will not see your videos. Okay, so with reels, I'm able to reach more people, a wider audience that never knew my businesses existed or never knew that I even had a YouTube channel. So that's really helping me to advertise for my products, to advertise for my services, and also advertise for me, which is my personal brand. Okay, so you have to use social media in your advantage. And when it comes to your business, you should never be ashamed of advertising, because that's how you're going to be getting money. I remember when I was growing up and watching Coca-Cola, you know, commercials, guys, everybody wanted to get that drink. Everybody wanted to get Coca-Cola just because they were just going on and on with advertising it. I mean, the commercial was so beautiful. Guys, you have to shove into people's throat. As much as you don't want to be so repetitive, but there's a way you can be repetitive in a way where it won't feel like you're saying the same thing, but you're actually saying the same thing. Does that make sense? So me talking right now about how to really become a boss, how to really get started, and at the same time I'm telling you about my businesses, this is advertising. Guys, this is advertising. Even though there's no way I can explain to you how to be a boss without mentioning my businesses, but I'm also using that in order to advertise. Many of my clients are coming from YouTube when it comes to YJ Consulting Co., which is my consulting firm. Many of my clients are coming from YouTube. People that are not even subscribed, which I found out a couple days ago. So if you are not subscribed, please, what are you waiting for? Just click that red thing that says subscribe. Okay, thank you. But many of my subscribers and many of the people watching my YouTube videos are really reaching out to me because they want to get started on the projects in Cameroon, or they want to get started on any projects, you know, elsewhere. I have people from Dubai, which is funny, right? I have people from Japan, people from Jamaica, which I found out I have a lady from Jamaica who is watching me. Hey girl, and she's not asking for my services, but she's watching, and I love it. I have people from Nigeria, from Kenya, many people from Kenya, Congo, Gabon, Cameroon, the US, a lot of people. So I'm really grateful for that. So at the same time, this has also allowed me to create a community, which is going to go into my next point, which is you have to create a community. Guys, this is a different era of doing business, a different age of going about doing business. Back then, our parents didn't have social media. They didn't have Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Clubhouse, all of these things. We do, okay? Now that we do, we have to use it accordingly. So you have to be able to create a community. I've been about recently in the last 2-3 months, I've been involved in Clubhouse. I didn't even know, like I heard people saying Clubhouse. I was like, you know what, that's not for me. But now I find myself in rooms talking about my experience, coaching other people, and it's really, it's fun. It's fun because, guys, I just like talking, so it's fun. But at the same time, I get to create a community, and many people are now going to my group because I recently created a group. You guys should check it out. I'm going to put the link down below. But I also have a group where people, if they want to learn about entrepreneurship, how to get started, and I'm eventually working on some courses, some programs that people can get knowledge from and they can get started on. And I'm working in partnership with other people, with companies here in Cameroon, in order to have that happen. So that's coming up maybe 2022, early 2022. So yeah, that's something that I wasn't going to share, but yeah, you guys should wait for something in 2022. You have to use social media to build a community. A Facebook group, I've been able to build a community there, which is really new. My Facebook group is probably a month old or less, and I've already have like 300 people, almost 400 people, which for me is amazing because I didn't even know I could get there. Okay, and I recently just started being involved with Facebook because I was like, I'm doing business on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, I have 2 Facebook business pages, and I'm talking to clients there. So why not having a Facebook group where I can build an entire community and still be able to not only provide valuable content but also have clients at the same time. So I think if you want to become the boss that you want to be, you need to have a community because people need to know that you exist. They need to trust you enough. They need to see what you're doing out there for them to trust you so that they can spend their money on you. So that's something that you have to heavily invest in. So everybody has to try their best, and which is also leading to my next point, which is you have to try everything. Your first business may not be the business that's going to be successful, and that's okay. I've tried things, guys. Like, I've tried things to the point where my mom up to today, she's like, what happened to the jewelry that you paid for? Like what happened to it? Guys, I lost it. I sold some and I lost some. And that was back in the days when I was in university. I even tried to go with my best friend to buy like wholesale clothing for women, and we're sending it back to Cameroon so that people can buy. Did we see the money? No. Did we reinvest back that money? No. We use our personal money. I think we did it like, I don't know, for a couple of times. Then we're like, okay, this thing is not making money. And we were still in university, guys. We're still trying things out. So I just wanted to tell you, it's not everything that you're going to try that will make it. You know, things are not going to work in the first try, the second try, third try, but you have to keep pushing if that's what you want. If you want to create a life where you're financially free, or you have acquired financial freedom, and you can now build generational wealth. Because that was my goal when I was going into entrepreneurship, because I wanted to be my own boss. So I'm just giving you some tips and tools that I've used myself in order to be the boss that I am today. So this is going to be the last point that I'm going to make. But guys, sometimes I talk too much, okay? So just bear with me. So the last point that I'm going to make is that doesn't matter how many degrees you have, that will not determine how successful you will be as an entrepreneur. It means nothing. Let me just explain. I've had many people who ask me, but maybe because you did accounting, that's why you're able to know money. No, I didn't learn how to save money. I didn't learn how to invest money. Like by the time I was finishing my degree, I was like, okay, let me now find a job. And my expertise, even though I have an accounting degree from the US, I still didn't quite do accounting. But my career was solely in auditing, which was internal auditing and tax auditing. That's what I did. That's what I did. So to a certain extent, has my auditing career affected how I now run my businesses? Yes. But it's not the career in itself. It's actually the way I work with people that had allowed me to see how company works. It had allowed me to see how to manage people, things to do, things not to do, and really how to structure things, really. I want to say something because somebody had mentioned, guys, I get GMs every time, okay? From people asking me to help them out, from people asking me to coach them, from people just making comments that are so untrue. Somebody had told me, if having a degree is not enough, why is it that you went back to school for an MBA? Guys, yes, I did went back to school for an MBA. I did because I wanted to go to school back for an MBA. But my MBA didn't have anything to do with how successful I wanted to be. It really had everything, and let me put it this way, it had everything to do with how I wanted young girls, young African black girls to see me. It wasn't for my career. It wasn't to advance in my profession. It was really for personal reasons because I wanted to be the example. I wanted to show young girls and women who have been, even boys, come on, I'm not, discriminating. I wanted to let other people that no matter what people say about you, you can still make it happen. I was the little girl that people thought I wasn't smart, that thought I wasn't even going to have a high school degree. So for me to have overcome that and have, a university degree and go beyond that when I was already working full time, it was just for personal reasons. I did it first of all because I wanted to show the young girls that I'm going to be mentoring that, hey, if I did it, you can do it too. Because I know as much as entrepreneurship is not linked to a degree, but depending on the profession that you want to go into, you will have to get those degrees. If you want to be a doctor, you have to get a degree. You want to be a pharmacist, you want to be an accountant, you want to be a CPA, you want to be a nurse, you have to go through the route of getting a degree because that's what it's going to take. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, you don't have to have the degree or you don't have to excel in school for you to be successful. So I wanted to just demystify the myth that successful people are the people who have degrees. No, that's so wrong. And I want you guys to know that wherever you are right now, with the knowledge that you have, the degree will not mean much if you're going into entrepreneurship. Let me just tell you right there. I know somebody who has a financial company, helps people invest, help people manage the funds, you know, teach people how to budget and so forth. The guy does not have a degree. He didn't have a degree. All he did is to really buy books and get his own education from other people that were mentors to him, and also from books that he was reading. That's how he was able to build a company that is now worth, I don't know, 7 figures. I know somebody else who learned how to code, not from a degree, not from going to school, because he actually dropped out of college, learned how to code by himself, and now has a company that is worth millions of dollars. He's actually from Venezuela, so I don't know if he's watching. Hey. I really wanted to make this video because I feel like many people are like, how do you do it? How do you become a boss? How did you get started? And it's not magic. It's really not magic. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own way of becoming the boss that they want. But there's a way you have to start, and you have to have a specific mindset. And there are so many things that I could have told you in this video, but guys, we're not going to spend the entire day here. It's hot because my office/warehouse is hot, and I have to head out because I think I'm already late. So I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to comment down below so that we can continue the conversation in the comment section. And you guys know I always reply to your comments. I mean, I do my best to reply to most comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, then I don't know, what are you waiting for? Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.